Anyways, so with the presidential election coming up, and in light of previous years, I just want to make sure that I record this real life video. It is Halloween on 2024, 34 degrees. It's raining and snowing, and I'm recording this video because it's a not just in this particular state, but there's a large majority of people who are in the same situation as myself or worse, and so therefore coming up with a solution or some checks and balances that would enable people who, like me, I had a caddy waiver, was disabled, legally certified as disabled in the state of Minnesota, for mental health and physical health conditions. And all this money was going during COVID to everybody who was working for the state. I never met my caddy waiver case manager ever in a whole year. I was on a housing stabilization program for 2 years, never found me housing. And so therefore that's, another story. But all of the explanation of benefits showed that over $50,000 a year at least were going to all these different agencies from my healthcare to pay for these programs that were not doing anything. And I feel that now, because the temperature is this way, I am in a garage, uninsulated, with asbestos. I have one extension cord that goes outside that plugs in, but because it's raining and snowing, now it's very difficult to, obviously, I did not understand this at the time. So I was unprepared as to insulate this particular place that's not even, my ideal residence. But all these things were happening when there's all this money, millions of dollars going to people for housing and all these things, but nothing was being done. So the easiest solution is, because all of this land that is the state is giving away, basically, be easy enough to put tiny houses on those land, allow people like me and other people in the same situation, maybe people who are elderly and disabled, or people who have children, different, there's a multitude of different people who need help. But anyhow, there are under $5,000, tiny homes that are actually able to be they're actually able to be unboxed in an hour. They're foldable. They have everything, designed already to utilize the solar power and to utilize water elements and everything as far as, green, sustainable living. And it seems to me like in that scenario, people would be able to thrive more no matter what city they're in. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota, but I'm across from a public school, St. Paul Public School. So I understand. I know because, where I'm staying at, my mother has the house portion, and she's always upset about how she's working all these hours and has no money to pay for anything. So I understand. Like, she is 56. So I know that there's probably a lot of people in the same boat who have children going to that school. Well, maybe they don't have heat, because I know when I did have an apartment in downtown St. Paul, there was no heat. There was no heat. It was below 30 degrees as it is right now. But it was for the better part of 6 months, and that's supposed to be illegal, you know. So I know it's other landlords who, well, I know that particular landlord owns a lot of buildings, and that's a lot of people then who are going without heat. And I know it's only October 31st, but it's about to be winter, and there's just so much easier solutions to different things like that, to work together with different counties. It only has to be one, plan that, obviously, if you own your own home, or if you're part of that, even if you take your food stamps and your, I'm not getting 203 anymore, but if you take your cash and food stamps, when you owe something, the county always wants to take little money or whatever from that to pay it off. So it makes more sense to, take a few dollars off each month and pay off that $5,000, and then the people can own that particular house free and clear. But during that time, they don't have to worry about not being able to think because they're so cold, or they can't eat, or they can't go anywhere because it's raining and sleeting and snowing, and they don't have a vehicle because they're sick. They can't get to their doctor's appointments. They can't do all these things. And although I called the ombudsman and all these different people, it's $1,500 for each Rule 25. Anytime you do a Rule 25, it comes off of anybody's health insurance, but the taxpayers pay that. So I feel that that's for each one. A Rule 25 is like if you're trying to get into treatment, or if a court orders you to do that, it automatically comes out. So that's 1/4 of a tiny house right there for each person. So you tell me if there's not enough money or not enough. It's enough land. It's out here. It's you just have to drive it. The tiny houses onto them, and they're already mobilized in that fashion. They're already. It's so much simpler than that. Maybe that's why it's too simple that nobody will, But who am I?